indifference curve. So related with this indifference curve, we already studied various factors that basically leading to this indifference curve. Okay, so we know that what is a bundle of products, what is cardinal approach or cardinal utility approach, and what is ordinal utility approach. So Pavitra, tell me, what is cardinal utility approach? What method we are using to represent the utility or satisfaction level of a commodity in a cardinal utility approach? Pavitra, can you hear me? Pavitra, are you there? So everyone turning their notes, searching for the answer. Huh? Okay, let it. Hannah Selim, I think Hannah Selim is ready to give the answer. She's ready. Hannah, tell me, what method we are using to give or mark the satisfaction level of different commodities in a cardinal utility approach. Hannah.
Quantitative terms.
Yes, of course, quantity. Right. Okay, so we are giving numbers basically, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, like the cardinal numbers we are using to represent the utility of various products in a cardinal approach of utility. Okay, then Amalraj, can you hear me? Okay, right.
Yeah.
All these ideas are clear or not? So we discussed
Yes,
various
sir.
factors related with economics there. So comparing with the 10th class economics, various things are there. A lot of things are there in 11th and 12th classes there basically. Okay. So all these things are might considering as new to you people. So in 10th economics, you may not study about or you not studied about this kind of curves, diagrams and all. Simple facts are there, right? Is that correct? Okay, facts are there, paragraphs are there, you just understand that. And then now I don't think that it is something complex or difficult to understand, something like that. We are going by bit. Okay, we are moving bit by bit. So if you are facing any difficulty or doubt, you can ask me, or you can go for further references also. You can ask me also, no problem. Okay, so various things are available for us to solve our problems here. Okay, so that is the thing, or that is the idea I can share with you. Whatever it is, you can ask me. Okay, I'm always ready to explain that again. So if idea is not clear, you can ask that. And we discussed about different methods to basically we find out the utility of a product. Okay, so we are here with indifference curve. Related with that, I would like to ask some questions basically. I'm not asking directly or individually to anybody here. I'm saying that questions. I'm going to present that questions there. You just write down the questions, and within one day, you should find out the answer before the next class. I mean, the next class is on Wednesday. I mean, Tuesday evening. I mean, tomorrow evening by 8 o'clock or on or before 8 o'clock, you should submit the answers. Okay, you have to find out the answers from the textbook itself. Okay, so I am unable to strictly stick on textbook because various sources are available. Try to do that, but the thing is, you should learn that, you should understand that. Okay, again, any doubts are there, means you can ask. Okay, we will try to discuss it again. Okay, so write down the first question. The first question for you: what is utility? Okay, so already discussed in the classroom what is utility. So I am telling all these things to you people because you have to understand the meaning of all these terms, all these aspects. Then only we are able to study the next chapters or next ideas. Okay, so the base required, the base is necessary. So find out the answer of this question. What do you mean by the term utility, or what is utility? What is a utility? Okay, for example, okay, I'm not going to give the answer now. Okay, you just try to find out the answer and submit it by tomorrow. Okay, the first question, what is utility? Second question, what do you mean by cardinal utility analysis? What do you mean by cardinal utility analysis? What is cardinal utility analysis? Cardinal utility analysis. Cardinal utility analysis. I just want the answers Only one or two sentences. So all 1 mark answers. 1 mark answers. Okay, what is cardinal utility analysis? No need to write no need to write a essay or something like that. Okay, simple answers are enough. Okay. Next one, what is total utility? What is total utility? Next question, what are the differences? Next question, what are the differences between total utility and marginal utility? What are the differences between total utility and marginal utility? Total utility and marginal utility. What is average utility and how to find that? Next question, what is average utility and how to find it? How to find it? The students, those who joined just now, please interact with your friends and get all those questions what we discussed already. Okay.
So can you repeat the last question?
Last question, we discussed about what are the different, what is average utility and how to find it? What is average utility and how to find it? What is average utility and how to find it? Explain the law of diminishing marginal utility. Explain the law of diminishing marginal utility. Explain the law of, it is a 3-mark one. Okay, so 3-mark question, want to write the answer fully and properly. Explain the law of diminishing marginal utility. Explain the law of diminishing marginal utility. With the help of a graph. With the help of a graph. Explain the law of diminishing marginal utility with the help of a graph. What is the law of demand? What do you mean by the term? The law of demand. The law of demand. Law of demand. Next question, what is ordinal utility analysis? What is ordinal utility analysis? Explain. What is ordinal utility analysis? Explain with the help of a graph. What is ordinal utility analysis? Explain with the help of a graph. Explain with the help of a graph. Ordinal utility analysis. Next question, what is an indifference curve? What is an indifference curve? What is an indifference curve? Explain marginal rate of substitution. Next question, explain marginal rate of substitution or MRS. Explain marginal rate of substitution or MRS. Explain marginal rate of substitution or MRS. Describe law of diminishing marginal rate of substitution. Describe law of diminishing marginal rate of substitution. Here you can see law of diminishing marginal rate of substitution. Describe law of diminishing marginal rate of substitution. Last and final question. What are the features of an indifference curve? Explain. What are the features of an indifference curve? Explain. What are the features of an indifference curve? Explain. What are the features of an indifference curve? Explain. Okay, tell me now. Total how many questions are there?
12.
7.
12.
12. Okay, fine. So are you able to complete that by tomorrow evening, 8 o'clock? Yes or no? Classes are there, right? Tomorrow classes also are there. No? So one thing you do. Okay, complete by Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. Okay. Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. You should submit before Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. Is that clear? Today, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. On or before 8 a.m. you should submit it. Everyone, those who are attending the class should do that. Okay. Now we are going to complete the features of indifference curve. Features of a indifference curve. Okay, so here the first one we already discussed, that the shape of the indifference curve. And the features, the first one and foremost important one is indifference curve slopes downward from left to right. Okay, and indifference curve slopes downward from left to right, which means that in order to have more of bananas, we already discussed that in the morning class, that the last topic what we discussed, that one. So in order to increase the number of bananas, basically the customer or the consumer want to give up purchasing mangoes. Okay, anyway, want to increase one number or one quantity of banana. Anyway, some quantities of mango should be give up. Okay, so here you can see if the consumer does not forgo some mangoes with an increase in number of bananas, it will mean consumer having more of bananas with same number of mangoes. If the consumer is not giving up the number of mangoes, that means both numbers are increasing. Okay, both numbers are increasing, or even we can think that the number of mangoes are not decreasing, but the number of bananas are increasing. In this statement, we want to, or we have to gain more income. Then only this is a, or this. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Some disturbances. Other whose mic is that? Okay, no, fine. Okay, so already discussed that we want to give up purchasing mangoes. If we want to purchase banana but not ready to give up mangoes, in that situation, anyway, the income want to increase, then only it will happen. Okay, or else this is the thing here. What is that? Always it will show this kind of structure. The graph will always will show this kind of structure here. Always will start from the right and sloping downwards to the left. Okay. So taking her to the last paragraph here, last sentence. This, as long as it's on the same indifference curve, an increase in bananas must be compensated by a fall in quantity of mangoes. So that is the specialty of the indifference curve. We are able to understand that it will happen. It will happen. Okay. If you want to increase the number of bananas, anyway, you want to give up the number of or a quantity of mangoes. It's of an indifference curve. Just to keep that in your mind. You want to increase one quantity, one particular product's quantity. Anyway, the other product's quantity should be reduced, or it will reduce. Okay. Next feature, higher indifference curve gives a greater level of utility. Indifference. So in indifference map, or we already observed here, indifference map, number of ICs are here. Indifference curves are here. So a higher indifference curve always showing a higher purchasing capacity, and a higher satisfaction also. Okay, so you can see here in the again in page number 4, you can see here 2.7 here number of ICs are here, IC2 and IC3. Okay, in IC1 the satisfaction level you can see here A, IC2 the satisfaction level is B, and IC3 the satisfaction level here it is C. So here the IC, more the satisfaction. Let's keep that in your mind. Okay, so we can see here like that. Shubham Pal, are you there? Shubham Pal? Shubham Pal. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Please mute your mic. Yeah, okay. I tried to mute that. Hello? Please mute. Shubham,
Yes, sir.
please mute your mic, man.
I'm not sure.
Okay, thank you. I'm trying for a long time. Okay, fine, let it. Okay, here, listen here carefully. So first, we discussed about the shape of the curve. Next one, higher indifference curve gives greater level of utility. So the indifference curve that moving higher, we can understand that utility level also increase. Utility level also will increase here. As long as marginal utility of a commodity is positive, an individual will always prefer more of that commodity. So we know that in the marginal utility, we already studied that if you're purchasing more product, marginal utility will diminish. Okay, but here you can see in the ordinal approach, if a price is not that much high, okay, and the product is able to provide satisfaction on utility, the consumer will always that it purchase more quantity of product. Okay, as individual will always prefer more of that commodity. As more of the commodity will increase the level of satisfaction. So in such cases, more commodities able to provide more satisfaction. Okay, that is not related with almost all the commodities. Okay, so here table 2.4 representation of different level of utilities from different combination of goods. So combination we can see here A, B, C. Here quantity of banana 1, 2 or 3, whatever it is, or a quantity of mangoes are not changing, that is the same. That is the same there. Basically, making one quantity without any change, we are going to increase the quantity of other product or other commodity. Here you can see that a number of bananas are increasing here. The quantity of mangoes are not changing, but all this is within the budget constraint only, within the budget only. So consider the different combination of bananas and mangoes, A, B, and C, depicted in table number 2.4. That's what here, 2.4, and figure number 2.7. You can see figure number 2.7. Combination A, B, and C consist of same quantity of mangoes, but different quantities of bananas. Since combination B has more bananas than A, and likewise, we can see that B will lie on the higher indifferent curve than A. So you can see here A, B, C. Here in set A or set combination A, quantity of the banana is 1 and quantity of the mangoes are 10. Combination B, quantity of banana is 2 and quantity of mangoes are 10. Okay, so here B will provide the individual higher level of satisfaction than A. Therefore, B will lay on the higher difference curve than A. You can see here. So B is here and A is just below that. Okay. In the same time, C has more bananas and B than B. Quantity of mangoes in the same in both B and C. Therefore, C will provide a higher level of satisfaction than B. You can see that more the quantity, the indifference curve will move away from the origin, which means A higher indifference curve will always show the higher utility. Okay, the higher indifference curve will always show the higher utility. In this case, number of mangoes are not changing, but the number of bananas are changing. That is providing better satisfaction for the customer. Okay, so just understand that this is another one. Another feature of the indifference curve here. Higher indifference curve gives greater level of utility or satisfaction. Okay, so a higher indifference curve consisting of combinations with more of mangoes or more of bananas or more of both will represent combinations that give higher levels of satisfaction. So in the budget constraint, a customer is like to purchase more quantity of the product, okay, that will give him satisfaction and utility. So that idea is clear. It is higher indifference curve. If you find a number of indifference curves in a graph paper, we can easily say that it's an indifference map. In that map, we can find more than 2 indifference curves. So higher the indifference curve or higher the IC, that gives greater level of utility and satisfaction. Is that idea clear? Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Thank you. We are moving towards the next point here. 2 indifference curves never intersect each other. So in a monotonous preferences, we already discussed that always a consumer will go to a set of bundle. Okay, before choosing that, he will compare that with another set of bundle, another bundle there. Then he come to know that that bundle what he going to choose is better than, or the quantity of that bundle is higher than the bundle A. Okay, so there we find out that there is X1, X2 bundle and a Y1, Y2 bundle. The consumer came to know that number of goods that in the X1, X2 bundle is more than Y1, Y2 bundle. At the same time, it is not less than Y1, Y2 bundle. So he choose X1 and X2 bundle there. Okay, that's what. So always thinking about a high number of products or a more quantity of products. Okay, so there is no chance for intersection. Okay, so 2 indifference curves never intersect each other. So that's the third feature of the indifference curve, that is 2 indifference curves never intersect each other. So you can see the figure here. 2 points. It is imaginary concept. It will not occur. Okay. Some 2 indifference curves intersecting each other will lead to conflicting results. Okay, we will not get an accurate result if we find intersecting indifference curves. To explain this, let us allow 2 indifference curves to intersect each other as shown in the figure 2.8. As points A and B lie on the same indifference curve, I see 1. So indifference curve 1. Okay, what are the points here? A and B. Utility derived from combination A and combination B will give the same level of satisfaction. Similarly, as point A and C lie on the same, you can see here point A and C, also. Okay, the same indifference curve IC2, utility derived from combination A and C, that is always equal to the utility deriving from A and B. Both are same only. So that is a imaginary concept. Basically, it will not happen there. Always customer choose a higher indifference curve only, or the bundle which have more quantity of the product. Okay, with a more utility and more satisfaction level, So it will not happen. Okay. So from this, it follows that utility from point B and from point C will also be the same, but this is clearly an absurd result as on point B, the consumer gets a greater number of mangoes with the same quantity of bananas. So consumer is better off at point B than at point C. Okay, so here no need to worry about point B or C or something like that. Same number of products he is able to use. Okay, so basically consumer will not go for the choosing such kind of bundle. Instead of that, he always will think about the bundle with more quantity that is able to provide more utility and satisfaction. So we discuss about the 3 features of an indifference curve. First of all, indifference curve slopes downward from left to right. Indifference curves slopes downward from left to right. So we can see that in the figure here. Okay, and it is always having a shape that is convex to the origin. convex to the origin. Okay, that is the first point what we discussed here. And the second point or second feature of the indifference curve, higher indifference curve gives a greater level of utility and satisfaction. Higher indifference curve gives us a greater level of utility and satisfaction. So figure number 2 shows that. Okay. Here, number of mangoes are not changing, but number of bananas are increasing there. As a result of that, indifference curve is moving upward direction. Okay, showing a upward growth here. Okay, so higher the indifference curve, which means higher the utility and higher the satisfaction. And the last point shows that two indifference curves never intersect each other, because we know that always the consumer will choose a bundle which are basically we are able to find more number of products or more quantity. Okay, so always the consumer that thinking with the monotonous preferences, we are able to understand that always will think about more number of products, These are the three features of an indifference curve there. Okay, so is that clear? The idea clear? Okay, so indifference curve IC. Okay, so if we are able to find more number of IC, your indifference curve on a graph, so that is called to be an indifference map. Map 2. Okay, so higher the indifference curve, higher the utility and higher the satisfaction. Okay, utility and satisfaction. So don't mix this with a cardinal approach. This is strictly ordinal approach only. We are giving ranks or preferences to our choices. Okay, that's what we discussed about this bundle system. Bundles. Okay, so daily we are using various sets of products. Okay, but here basically we took X1 and X2, only two products. Okay, from the beginning to this portion much we discussed only two particular product like mangoes and bananas. Okay, so I hope you understood this topic here. So the features of an indifference curve there. So I already gave a question, what is an indifference curve, what are the features of an indifference curve? Explain that. Okay, you are able to do that, right? Can you do it or not? Yes, we can do that. Fine. So, and the next one, we are moving towards budget. The next topic for we people, that is budget. Already we discussed that before starting this ordinal approach. I taught you what do you mean by budget here. And related with that, I give a small assignment for you people. Nearly 15 students submitted that. Again, 6 to 7 students are there. They not at all interested. I'm thinking that to complete the task or assignment there. It's all simple task only. And anyway, I marked the student's name, and it is safe with me. Okay, now I'm giving one more chance. I give you nearly 12 questions today. Find out the answers of those questions and submit on time. Okay, just keep that in your mind. Okay, and one more thing, it is many notes are already uploaded. Okay, all those notes should be printed out properly, and you want to keep that in your file, right? So already related with the statistics, so far 3 chapters completed. All those notes are uploaded. The 4th chapter, what we are discussing now, that is presentation of statistical data. That note also I upload there. So you want to download and print it out properly, and you want to keep the notes properly with you. And here it is, the first chapter already uploaded, I am thinking, right? The first chapter is already uploaded, the chapter that is introduction of microeconomics, and the second chapter it is a consumer behavior. So this chapter is too important for we people, because in the coming chapters there are number of applications are there that basically connected with this chapter. If you don't know what is budget, if you don't know what is cardinal approach, if you don't know what is ordinal approach, it is difficult to understand or difficult to move forward. So clarify your doubts properly. Okay, if any doubts are there, you are unable to digest, so you can ask me directly. Okay, I will try to explain it again. No problem. Okay, I only told you that in economics, we want to move bit by bit. Okay, inch by inch, we want to move forward. We want to understand the basic concepts. Okay, in mathematics, how the multiplication table is necessary, like that, this kind of steps or this kind of basic ideas are that much important for we people, those who learning economics. Is that clear? Okay, so what are the assignments is already provided? Just to complete the task in time and submit in time. Okay, on time, right? Okay, so sir is waiting for the next class, I'm thinking. Okay, so sir left. Okay, so we will continue. Okay, so here we discussed about, or we are going to discuss about the budget. What is budget? Okay, so budget in the sense we know that the people discuss it with your parents, you can easily say that what is budget now? What is a budget now? What is that? So always your parents are thinking, right? Okay, how to spend money? Okay, how much percentage of the income wanted to spend to groceries? How much percentage for education? What percentage you want to spend to what you can say medical expenses, transportation, communication? Okay, like that various sectors are there, various divisions are there. Okay, you discuss with your parents or not? How many of you discuss that with your parents? How many of you discuss with your parents? Now you got a what we can say vague idea how to deal with the income. Okay, and what are the problem we will face if the income is decreased? Income is a decreasing, we will face a number of difficulties, right or not? Right or not? If in increasing, it's not a problem. Okay, if decreasing, definitely some students already shared their viewpoint with me there. So now I came to know that various problems are there. Basically, we people are facing related with this epidemic because our most of the parents' income is reducing. Okay, the people those who working in organized sector, there is no problem for them. Okay, the self-employed people, businessmen. Okay, that's kind of people are facing problem now. I'm thinking, right? Is that correct or not? Is that correct or not? Of course. Okay, so I hope you people are able to understand the things properly, and we will meet in the next class. That when the time 4:20, right? 4:20. We'll meet again by 4:20. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.